Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Heidi is in Bowling Green, Ohio. Hi, Heidi. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Bowling Green, Ohio, hometown of Scott Hamilton.
It is.
It is.
And, yeah. And the National Tractor Polls and, yeah.
And I believe Dave, there was an old runner back in the day, Dave Waddell. You probably don't know that name, but yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyway, how can I help?
Okay. So my question is, first I want to say thank you so much for taking my call, and you are an answer to a bold prayer that I just said yesterday, and I'm so grateful to get through. But my question is, my husband and I, we've been blessed with 4 kids that we've raised. We have our baby is a senior in high school, and now my husband and I are trying to buckle down and figure out how to ride this next season and to the best we can financially to, hit retirement in a good note. We have our home that we live in, and we also have a 5-acre piece of property that has 4 rentals on it, 4 rental homes. It also has a large barn, but we've had a hard time renting the barn out for anything. But we have, through this process of raising the kids and selling a business that we had for years, my husband went back to school, and they called him Grandpa Daddy, but he graduated first in his class, so he was a good Grandpa Daddy student. But we took out 2 HELOCs. We have a HELOC on our home and a HELOC on the rental.
For what?
For what?
Yeah.
Well,
what'd you buy with that money?
We just covered expenses while he was in school because
so he wasn't working.
No.
Oh,
and
crud.
He worked a little bit.
And you weren't working. Y'all didn't have any money to eat, and so you borrowed money to eat.
Well, I was working, but my income was not going to fill the gap of his not working.
So how long did he not work, and how much money did you guys rack up?
Well, he did not work for about a year, and in that time, we had we went from, I guess over the course of a few years, we went from a really large income.
How much do you owe on these 2 HELOCs? That's what I'm asking.
On the HELOC, on the first one, we owe $29,500.
What about on the other one?
And the other one is $39,500.
Okay, so you borrowed $70,000 on the year that he didn't work. And what is his degree in?
He is now a substation electrician.
Okay, and what is his income now?
Well, he's still climbing each year because he's been at his job for 3 years now. But currently, he is working a lot of overtime, but he makes about $110.
Okay, what do you make?
And I'm currently home.
Okay, so you have $110,000 income. You have $70,000 in HELOCs from this mess.
Any other debt?
Well, we have $140 income because we get rental income from the 5 acres.
So another 30 in rental income?
Do you have any other debt other than these HELOCs?
We have, no, we drive crappy cars.
And you're how old?
52.
Okay, so how quick are you going to clean up $70,000, making $140,000?
I would love to do it in 2 years.
I think you should.
But I don't. I would also. My other proposal thought is: do we sell the 5 acres with the rentals? Because over the next 10 years, from what I'm calculating, if it makes a profit of $216,000, I don't know if it's worth hanging on to or just trying to sell it and
what would it bring?
Everything. I think it would bring at least, my husband thinks 450.
Okay, so you got $500,000 sitting in the middle of your coffee table, and you don't own this farm. Would you go buy it?
No.
Then sell it.
Okay.
If you wouldn't buy it again, you shouldn't keep it.
But do you think it's possible to get out from under the HELOCs? Because then that would be paid for total.
It's possible. If you make $140,000, surely to God you can pay off 70 in 2 years. It's only $35,000 a year out of 140. You got to struggle through on 105 minus taxes.
Right.
I think you can do that for sure. Or you can sell the other property. I don't think you're required to sell the other property, but it doesn't sound to me like you guys are.
You're not enjoying it. It's a headache.
Yeah. It's like, if you didn't own it, would you go buy it? No. It was an instant answer. You didn't even think about it. So obviously it's not, if you wouldn't buy it again, folks, that means you need to sell it, whatever it is, other than your spouse.
And you said you only got one more kid at the house. Said the baby's a senior in high school, so it might be time you go back to work and help speed this process up so you can retire with dignity. Because you said that was your goal.
Yeah. But if you sold that and you cleared the HELOCs, and then you just start stacking cash towards retirement, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be okay. It's just a matter of which way is the way you want to go at it. 20 years from today, do you want to own that farm? And if you ask me that about several of the properties that we own, the answer is yes. I very seldom sell a piece of real estate, but occasionally I look at it and I go, God, I wouldn't buy that. If I didn't own it, and that means you got to get rid of it. That means it's time to move to something else. And I've got a couple of those. I have moved a couple of pieces of real estate over the years, but 90% of the stuff we buy, we keep forever. That's our goal. So, but it's okay to move it. There's nothing wrong with it. Good question. Thank you for joining us. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.